So we know that a new technology in the GTS, Gen-F series, is torque vectoring. But what exactly is it and how does it work? You're coming into a corner a little bit too fast, the car's detected you've got some understeer or front wheel slide. It actually applies the brake to the inside rear wheel through the ESC module and proportions some more drive through the diff to the right hand side of the car. So that actually creates some yaw and helps steer the car in the direction you want to go. It's a dynamic new technology developed with the assistance of Bosch and also requiring a larger rear brake to cope with the forces going through that inside brake wheel. How does it actually feel though? Let's put it into practice. To start with, I'm going to go through a series of obstacles like a slalom course. Now, to keep the system working, you actually need to have a little bit of power on. If you've come into a corner too fast and come off the power altogether, it will default to the normal ESC mode and apply the ABS and stabilise the car. So to keep the yaw and to apply the brake to the inside of the car in each turn, just a little bit of throttle, and then it should help the car rotate, so requiring less steering lock and a more neutral car balance. Away we go. So I've got a constant throttle on and you can see that I'm requiring very little steering inputs, and I can actually feel the car biting each time it rotates through the gap. Traditionally, you might lift off to help the car steer. When you lift off, you actually transfer more weight on the front of the car. But with torque vectoring, you lift off, it's not activating. So if I just keep a constant throttle through the slalom course, it'll do the same thing. It's actually loading the front tyre and helping maintain steerability for me. So I'll have another run through. Constant throttle all the way through. And then back hard on the ABS at the end of the stop. Now, to feel it working in one direction, when you've, say, come into a corner on a nice windy bit of road and gone too quick, then it will still do exactly the same thing if you're holding that nice constant throttle again. So let's go in one big generous circle and see exactly what it does. So I'm driving in one big sweeping arc, making a complete 360-degree circle now, and I'm on that constant throttle, just holding on one steering lock, and the car's just continuing in a perfect 360-degree radius. Now if we go back into touring mode, that will have no torque vectoring. We'll see how that feels. Constant throttle, but then now, there goes that understeer. To fix the understeer, I'd have to manually lift and bring the car back in. So we'll generate some understeer, one nice big circle again, and then I'll turn the dial into track mode. Constant throttle will actually kick the engine down, and the car's back online again. It's maintaining a perfect corner radius, so it's detecting the yaw. Now if you keep going and going, what it's actually going to do is heat up the rear brake, but the extra volume, the extra brake capacity handles it no problem. Copious amount of testing by HSV to make sure that the rear brakes don't get too hot. You can drive this car on a circuit, use that torque vectoring and hopefully minimise your understeer.